What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at Ikaris here, and yeah, he's been out for a little while now, and I kind of just built him up a little bit here. I got him to level 70 right away because I got his potential, like, the first attempt, and then I haven't really touched him since, and I got him to level 70 without even looking at any of his skills either. I kind of just assumed that he was going to be pretty good because all of the uniforms were a bit lackluster for the update, but yeah, after playing around a little bit with Ikaris here, I'm not very impressed with him, so yeah, not great right out of the gate here, but he has a lot of potential here because we do have their movie that's going to be coming out later this year, I think in like November or something like that, the Eternals movie. And he should get a uniform, maybe a tier 3, maybe Awakening or something like that. So that's probably what's going to push him over the edge because right now he's just not very good. So I'm assuming that they built him kind of lackluster like this because they're preparing him for a uniform or an Awakening or a tier 3 or something like that. But anyway, let's just go ahead and take a look at Ikaris, how he is right now in the game. And yeah, we'll just do a quick review on that. So his tier 2 passive here, we have some skill damage, 45%, 30% bonus damage, decrease all damage received by 30%, so a little bit of damage and survivability there. We have a silence and stunned here, incapacitation. We've got a stun, we've got ignore dodge by 30% here by the second skill. Okay, so that lasts for 5 seconds. It's not bad. I didn't realize that actually after using him for a little bit. The third skill is going to have his buff. He's going to have 2 seconds of silence, stun, and then this is damage accumulation with damage dealt, and it looks like it's a 60% attack buff here. Yeah, 60%. His fourth skill does ignore targeting, so you can attack people in iframe, but he just doesn't seem very good for PvP because he just dies like instantly, so it's not like you can really take advantage of this. I mean, maybe if you got the attack off, but his damage is also really low as well, which is another thing that I don't like about him. But anyway, we have paralysis on here for 2 seconds. We have all defense down up to minus 50%. We have invincibility. And then his fifth skill here, we've got all defense down. This stacks up to minus 50% as well. And then we get a 50% chance to penetrate pretty much everything, it looks like. So he has penetration for everything, but only a 50% chance. So again, it looks like he could have been good in PvP if he just had like a little more survivability and a little bit more damage, but he's still just, basically it's one-shotted like instantly. His passive here, he has super armor, which is really good. I love characters that have super armor. He's got all defense up by 25%, and then he's got a continuous heal, which is good for survivability. So yeah, he's got a lot going for him. It just doesn't seem enough, or maybe it's just because his damage seems really low to me. Maybe that's why I'm feeling a little underwhelmed by him, because he has a lot of good, you know, skills and effects on his skills here. So anyway, his leadership here is going to be the Eternals leadership for a 60% all attack increase, so not bad. So once more Eternals start getting added to the game, he could be the leadership for them, so that'll be good. Take a look at his ice weight set. I have Hawk's Eye on him. I believe that's because he did not have any skill cooldown on any of his gears, so he did need that, for me at least. And then I threw this on him just to test him, just to see what he'd be like with a damage proc. So we have a max HP, ignore defense, 120 proc, and I know it's only a 120 proc, and I've been complaining about his damage, but usually when I put like a 120 proc on a character that's actually got some damage, I usually see some results there, and I'm not seeing much with him, so I'm not really tempted to upgrade this. Like I said, maybe when he gets a uniform or later down the line, I'll be more tempted to kind of invest more resources in him, but for now, this is what he's going to be sticking with until he gets buffed. Here are his stats. We've got ignore defense, skill cooldown maxed out. All of the other stats are pretty low, but again, that's just because I haven't really been working on him too much. He's got the Eternals tag, of course. He's got leadership and energy protection here. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skills in the skill preview here. He does have some pretty cool skill animations actually too. So here's his first skill. It's got some regular punches going on there. Second skill, it goes into an iframe that kind of goes in and out. If you can see, that little X for the iframe thing is blinking a little bit, so he can actually get hit by a very, very quick attack or like dot damage or something like that. which is a little annoying. What character did we have that problem with before? I think that was Captain Marvel in her third skill, she would keep getting poisoned, like the poison puddles and stuff like that, which was super frustrating. The third skill here that gives him the buff, he kind of just summons the power of the sun there and just does a nice vortex and slams it down with an explosion. But you can just cancel this to get the buff, so that's going to probably be what you're going to do here. The fourth skill, the one with ignore targeting, is also one where you can move him around with the joystick, which this is also a kind of skill that I really like. I really like characters that have good movement like this. And if he does end up getting an awakening or a tier 3 that makes him really strong, if they retain this kind of movement on the fourth skill here, he's going to be really good against probably like Mephisto and Null and stuff like that, because movement is just really good for avoiding their attacks. You know, when you can't crowd control or lock them down or rely on your invincibility or damage immunity to actually block the damage, then this skill is going to be really good. So yeah, I'll have to try him out if that ever happens. But now let's look at the fifth skill. There's a nice kind of explosion here with all the fire, and then just dashes all around, which you have a lot going on here on the screen. It looks like he's doing a lot, but those hits are just very weak. So as he's flying around doing these hits, those are hitting for like almost nothing in terms of damage. So that mainly looks like a skill that you want to use when you have multiple enemies around, so that maybe that's why it's a bit underwhelming in World Boss. So I don't know, like Shadowland Rumble, I mean, he could be really good or something like that. But again, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little harsh on him. So let's go ahead and show him in World Boss Ultimate, and I'll show you a little bit of his damage and just what he's up to. But here are, I always like to show these now just so you guys know if I've, you know, changed my cards or anything like that, since I have yet to re-roll or reforge any of my cards, which I might do in the future now that I've got some cards built up. But I'm probably just gonna end up re-rolling for better stats on my current cards and then reforge, you know, later down the line. But anyway, these are my stats, so now let's go hop into a little bit of gameplay. Alright, so here we are over at Cole Obsidian. He is energy damage, so of course we're going to be taking him in against Cole to test him out here. We're using Doc Voodoo's leadership here for the debuff lead, because it actually does end up being better than just using, say, like She-Hulk for the 65% buff, or his own leadership with just a 60%. So the all defense down is a little bit more effective, even though he only has minus 50%. So that's one of the reasons why his damage is probably pretty low. And then we're going to be using Cersei here for her passive. She gives a 30% buff to Eternals, so might as well use her here. And yeah, let's load up the fight and I'll show you what he can do. He has great survivability though, so I do like that. Just I wish there's a bit more damage. Alright, and also I can't really find a good skill rotation for him, at least for a damage proc, because I want to get the buff here. And then for this fifth skill right here, once you have him flying around the screen like that, you can actually cancel that and all of that retains. But I've already had my damage proc go off, so I don't see the point in trying to do that, because if I go right here and now I go into this skill, see, that's ideally where I want my damage proc to be on the fourth skill. But it's not great timing for it, and he's on a 9-second cooldown on the fifth skill, so it's just not very, you know, you can't line it up. It just doesn't work out that way because of the cooldown times on his skills. But I mean, overall, you can see he's doing some damage here on a stage 50, but he's a level 70, and a lot of other characters, even at level 60, can fly through, or yeah, level 50, level 60 can fly through a stage 50 of Cole Obsidian here. So that's probably why I'm not super impressed with him. Yeah, he's just got survivability. That's pretty much it. We get, oh, canceled a little too soon trying to get the damage proc to land on the combo there. Let's see if we can get something. There we go. Let's proc on that skill. Let's do this. Let's get this guy going. And now if we proc here, nope, it procced at the very end. But as you can see, I don't know, the damage is just not great. Let me know if I'm maybe playing him wrong or something like that. But again, my goal is to get the buff on the third skill. Fifth skill is just where I'm proccing because it has all, well, actually both of them all have all defense down, but I think the fifth skill hits harder than his fourth skill. So if we take a look here, now going to the fifth skill. Come on, fifth skill, go. You can see not much damage there. So now if we wait for the damage proc to come back around, oh, missed it. I was going to try on the fourth skill. Actually, maybe the fourth skill will do more damage. Let's try one more time here. So here we go. Oh, we can get the combo. We had no accumulation that time. Yeah, I don't know. Damage just seems a little low, but let me know what you think of Ikaris here, if you were excited to build him up, if you found a use for him, or if, kind of like me, you're feeling a little underwhelmed with him after getting him leveled up. Again, he should be getting a uniform or some kind of upgrade when the movie comes out, so he's definitely not going to be staying at this power level. Just for right now, he's a bit underwhelming. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.